Patience has run out. What was presented as an elite project has collapsed into something unrecognizable, and on this April 7th, 2026, the mood around Birmingham City is one of complete desolation. The home defeat to Blackburn Rovers didn't just cost 3 points, it triggered something deeper, a breaking point. Outside St Andrews and across every fan platform, the language has turned definitive. End of the line. Time to go home. Chris Davies out. The belief that once surrounded Chris Davies after promotion has evaporated. This was meant to be a season of dominance under Knighthead's investment, not stagnation in 11th or 12th with more defeats than wins. Instead of progress, supporters see a team drifting, producing football described as negative, predictable, and lifeless. The gap between promise and reality has become impossible to ignore. What makes it worse is the sense that nothing is changing. Davies' post-match interviews have become a symbol of that frustration, mocked as copy and paste responses. The same phrases keep repeating. Tough day, fine margins, didn't shut the back door. But fans aren't buying it anymore. They're watching the pitch and seeing the same issues week after week. Tactical rigidity, a lack of creativity, and perhaps most controversially, the continued selection of players who appear untouchable regardless of performance. Jack Robinson has become the focal point of that debate, seen as an example of loyalty over merit. Meanwhile, attacking players brought in at significant cost, names like Kyogo Furuhashi, Marvin Duksh, and Jay Stansfield, look restricted rather than unleashed. The question supporters keep asking is simple. How does a squad like this produce so little? Behind the scenes, the situation has only intensified after the clash with Ipswich Town. Sources describe a warlike atmosphere in the immediate aftermath, with Davies furious at the officiating, calling it scandalous and accusing the linesman of guessing key decisions. But that anger hasn't translated into sympathy from the stands. If anything, it's had the opposite effect. The dominant fan reaction is that Birmingham didn't deserve anything from the match anyway. The refereeing narrative is being dismissed as a distraction, a way of deflecting from deeper issues like a fragile defence and an attack lacking ideas. Across forums and supporter groups, the consensus is now overwhelming. Whether immediately or in May, most want change. The minority calling for patience is being drowned out by a wave of frustration that grows louder with every underwhelming performance. This puts enormous pressure on Knighthead and particularly Tom Wagner, who presented this as a long-term elite rebuild. A mid-table finish after heavy spending doesn't just look like a setback, it looks like a failure of direction. The dilemma now is strategic. Do they stick with Davies and risk further drift, potentially damaging plans for 2027? Or do they act decisively and bring in a manager with a bigger profile, someone capable of turning financial power into results? There's a growing feeling that Birmingham have become a sleeping giant again, not due to a lack of resources, but because the current leadership has reached its ceiling. And in modern football, once that perception takes hold, it spreads quickly. So now the question turns to you. Do Birmingham City pull the trigger now and remove Chris Davies before the situation deteriorates further? Or do they wait until May, protect dressing room stability, and reset in the summer? And if the change comes, who is the right name to rescue the Knighthead project and reconnect the team with its supporters?